Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to our ongoing Marathon 101 series. Today we are in-house because we are talking about something that is different from previous. We're talking about fueling your run. So today is about how you're going to fuel, what you're going to eat to be able to fuel your running. So I'm doing this from my breakfast dining table. I've just finished with my breakfast and we'll be talking about food and your running. But before that, last week we wanted to do 4 runs and we wanted runs between 20 and 40 minutes. How did it go for you? Mine was pretty good. I had a good week's run. I did my target of 4. Just finished off my long run this morning. And more excitingly, I spent the whole day yesterday out in Thika County. Previously, we talked about mobilizing a running group or a running community around yourself. And a friend of mine took a challenge and created a village road race. So yesterday I spent the whole day out in Tetu constituency in Nyeri County, where they had put together a village race. They had close to 100 people. They had a 10-kilometer run and they had a 5-kilometer run. And you could just completely and totally love the energy, the community, the mobilizing that had gone into this. And I'll probably be doing a separate video posting for that and some of the great lessons that I picked up yesterday. Fantastic, well done, Tetu Jamhuri Road Race. So coming back, today we are talking about fueling your run. We previously talked about your journey, that you want to fuel for your journey. You want a cooling plan for your journey, which we talked about. And we also talked about making sure that your tires are good for the journey. And we'll talk about that separately in the future. So today, it's about the fuel for your run. Now, typically, a marathon will burn anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 calories. A full marathon. Now, 3,000 or 4,000 calories is a huge amount of energy, considering that an average adult will burn, on average, 2,500 calories per day in a 24-hour period. This is the energy that you need to stay alive, to keep working, to walk around, for your brain to keep thinking. 2,500 is your average consumption of energy in a day. So when you run a full marathon and you burn 3,000, 4,000, you're saying that that event within 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, or even 5 hours, you're burning more energy, probably double the amount of energy that your body will consume in a full day. Now, what that means is that, you can't just show up and run a full marathon because your body will not have the energy to carry you through that whole event. And therefore, you need to say, if this is what my burn is, what is my plan for loading up that energy before the event? Now, this video is not a full diet video conversation, and we will have lots of diet conversations around. We'll even bring in an expert dietitian to tell us about meals and what to do. But we're just talking about here the calories, the energy that you require to be able to run a marathon, and therefore the energy that you'll require to build in your training as you learn how to do that. So besides the diet, sort of balanced diet requirement that we'll expect you to constantly have a balanced diet, you have your carbohydrates, you have your proteins, you have your vegetables and your fruits, so that your body is in a balanced state. If you're training for a marathon, then you will need to be very clear about how your fueling plan for your day-to-day marathon is. So we talked about tracking and tracking your training. So how many kilometers have you done? How many minutes did you run? Your tracker, if it's a good tracker, will also tell you how many calories have you burnt in that session of training. So this morning I've just done just under 8 kilometers of running. in about just under an hour, and I think I've burnt about 600 or 650 calories this morning. So my plan for today needs to include replenishing the calories that I have burnt. Now, 400, 500, 600 calories is calories that you can sort of recover on a regular sort of breakfast, lunch, dinner cycle. But over time, so the objective is to first of all replace the energy that you're burning that is extra from what your body requires on a day-to-day basis. As you build up your training, you start doing 10 kilometers, 17 kilometers, 22 kilometers, then the burn of energy that you're talking about at that level, 1,000, 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories, is much more extra energy than you would on a day-to-day basis. So what that means is that you need to have a plan to be able then to either replace the calories that you are burning, and if they are significant, 1,000 calories, 1,500 calories, you need to have a plan to load up the calories before your run. So as you get to do bigger and bigger runs, then you will expect to either load just before the run, depending on how much energy you're talking about. In some cases, you may actually load a day before. In some cases, you might be loading 2-3 days before. If you're doing a full marathon and burning 3 calories, chances are you want to load up that in the last 3-4 days as your run is coming closer. So I find, for example, that I think the banana is an all-time favorite for runners. A banana or two before a run gives you a good punch of energy, and most importantly, it is slow burning energy. So compared, for example, to a sweet or some glucose that you will leak before the run, the banana will give you long-lasting energy because it will digest slowly and it will release energy slowly into your system. I find, for example, ugali ya jana is a very good energy kick in the morning, either to replace after a run or even to load before a run. Chapati ya jana, those kind of things early in the morning before a run, 20 minutes before you take off, allows it to go down, start digesting, and then it releases the energy slowly into your body system as you run. So think about, track what you're burning with your app. Think about how you are replacing it. And as you plan longer and bigger runs into the future, then think about how you're going to balance what you're burning and what you're taking in on a regular basis. Now, this is not about weight loss yet. In fact, the weight loss conversation itself will come because at some point, most of us need much less to be able to run the long distances that we seek to do. But for now, it's just about how much energy are you burning and how much energy are you taking in, and keeping constant watch over that equation to make sure that you will have enough to carry you through the training and eventually through the full marathon that you will do. As I finish off, one question I've been asked many times: where is the place of beer in the whole of this conversation? Well, most beers are good energy source. There's nothing wrong with having a beer in moderation. And I find that most marathon majors will have a beer sponsor. That's a good motivation for you to finish a marathon. So most marathon majors will have a beer at the end of the marathon. Why? Because a beer will give you a good punch of energy release or energy re-entry into your system. Never mind that it also has all the other electrolytes and all the other good stuff we're going to be talking about into the future. So if you like to have a beer and you want to have a beer the day before or two before your long run on a Sunday morning, absolutely no reason why not, because beer is a very good source of energy. Now, that's not a good enough reason to take 10 beers and sort of go to bed at 3 in the morning and then miss the training altogether. So a beer is a good source of energy for your run, only in moderation and only if it's targeting to load up for energy that you're going to be burning the following morning or in whatever space that will be. Let's keep talking. Tell us what your experience is with this energy conversation. Tell us what your experience is with these runs that you are doing. Let's keep talking. Let's keep moving. All the best. Thank you. Cheers.